My name is Faraha Farouk and I'm currently a second year MBBS student at Ziauddin University. Today, in this video, I will be talking to you about how to get into Ziauddin. We will be talking about grade requirements, the interview, and the entry test. So, the minimum grade requirement to get into Ziauddin for A-levels is a C grade, and for inter, it's a 75% pass. It goes without saying that the better grade you get, obviously the better chances you have of getting in. Your overall score is divided like any other place. 50% is your entry test, 40% is your A-level or inter, and 10% is your O-levels or metric grade. So the greatest weightage your admission will have is going to be on your entry test. Now, let's come to the real topic, which is the entry test. The Ziauddin entry test is based entirely on the A-level syllabus, and rarely do they deviate to inter or any other thing. So if they ever do, then the questions are simple enough that a student of A-level would have done them before. Nothing is asked which you haven't done before, like every question in the paper is something you would have done. The test isn't as hard as the AQ test or as nerve-wracking as the DAO test. For any A-level student who has studied reasonably well during their 2 years in A-levels, they can pass this test if they gave their CI as well. Now let's come to the entrance test. There are 6 sections of the entrance test: English, biology, chemistry, physics, general knowledge, and science reasoning or aptitude. Each section will have about 20 questions, and the number can vary from 20 to 30. You will have 5 or 4 options for the answers, and each question will be an MCQ. The pattern varies year to year, but these are the general rules which they follow. And you will get 2 hours to solve the paper, and there is no calculator allowed, and there is no negative marking, so you're free to make guesses. Remember, no negative marking and no calculator allowed. The way to manage your time would be to answer the sections that you know best. For example, I knew English and biology, so that's why I did English and biology first, and I left my time for physics, which was my weak subject. I'm going to individually talk about each section. For an A-level student, the English section is quite straightforward and pretty simple. You have basic grammatical concepts which are answered, and meanings of difficult words and stuff like that. For anyone who needs to brush up on their English skills, there is this amazing book out there, High School English by Brennan Martin, which you can use to practice your English skills, if you feel like that they're weak. If you read through the chapters and attempt the practice questions, I guarantee you will pass it and your English will improve. Coming to the sciences part, none of the questions were out of anything I'd done before. If not A-levels, then I had done them in O-levels. The questions were more knowledge-based and less theoretical, and chemistry and physics maybe had about like 3 calculations each, which were simple if you remember the formula, because obviously a calculator isn't allowed. Make sure that your concepts are strong and that you have practiced your basic concepts. I felt like general knowledge was a very haphazard section, mainly because there wasn't any proper source material you could study from. A lot of the questions were very weird. Like, for example, there was this question about where a particular poet was buried and which song was written by which particular poet. So different tuition centers give out this general knowledge book who are teaching their students for ECAT or MCAT. And this general knowledge book contains information about capitals and countries and currencies. Reading this book may or may not help you depending on how much you retain in your brain. But I feel like if you master English and science as well, then you can afford to lose marks in this section. The last section was aptitude or science reasoning, which is basically testing your IQ, which is something you cannot learn or teach yourself. My only advice for you to solve it on the spot is to read the question again and again and again until you understand what the examiner is trying to ask of you, and so that you understand the question. Just don't freak out and take deep breaths and don't get stressed out. It's a very on-the-spot type of thing, so please don't ruin your next question thinking, oh, I messed up my first question and I can't do the next one. No, you attempted the question, whatever, right or wrong, just move on. As a person who went and got into Ziauddin, I want to share my personal experience with you. I did join a tuition center, Anissa Sen, mainly because I wanted to prepare for DAO, and they were teaching the inter-syllabus. But nothing they taught me at Anissa Sen ever helped me in Ziauddin, because the Ziauddin test, as I already mentioned, is based entirely on the A-level syllabus. And tuition centers are great for you if you probably want to get into multiple universities, but other than that, they're not very good for Ziauddin, because I feel like for Ziauddin you can prepare on your own at home. If you start reading your A-level books a month before the entry test, then you will get in. The only plus point about the tuition center was that before the entry test, they gave out this past paper booklet, which contained a compilation of all of the past papers of the entry test of that university before it happened. So if you practice that, then it would be really good for you, because when going into the entry test examination hall, you would have a feel of what the test would be like, and you wouldn't go in there blankly. So I feel like it is very important for you to get your hands on that past paper booklet and practice it as much as you can. So my overall experience was good. Prepare for your CIs well and get a hold of that past paper booklet and practice from there. Keep on reading your books at least a month before the exam, and you will be able to do perfectly well. For those of you giving FSC or Inter, it is very important that you read through our A-level books. We have one good book per subject, and what you should do is you should open the contents page of our A-level book and your Inter book and compare it with each other. So whatever topics we have and you don't, you should do those first, and whatever topics you have which we don't, you should cut those out, because chances are that they won't come. It's highly unlikely. And those looking to practice English, if your English is weak, I already mentioned the book High School English by Brennan Martin, which if you do the practice sections, then you will be able to improve your English by a lot. Entry test done. Now let's come over to the interview. Once you go in for your interview, they make you sit in a waiting room and give you about 15 minutes to write an essay about either why you want to be a doctor or why you chose that thing. Now, it's just to get to know your thoughts and before choosing this profession, and if you have thought about it, so you can write about it. The essay topic may change, but it might be variable and it might relate to something like this. The questions asked are, why Ziauddin? And why do you want to be a doctor? Your hobbies, your interests, your likes and dislikes, flaws of your character and strengths of your character. There's also this hypothetical question that they might ask about regarding abortion or euthanasia, where they put you into a medical situation and ask you what you want to do about it. So you have to be very informed about the laws in Pakistan regarding these things. Don't lie, because they can cross-question you and they will find out if you're lying. Just be confident and be yourself. Keep the conversation going, and when they ask you something, be simple. So good luck for your entry test and for your interview, and I sincerely hope you get into Ziauddin. Bye.